Hello, this video is what I think about the ramifications of time travel. Imagine what it would be like if everybody had a time machine, kind of like, in Back to the Future, Dr. Otto's time machine. Imagine if everybody had one of those. What would that mean? Well, I think most people would be like, ooh, that would be bad. Oh my God. Because then people would go back in time and kill off people's fathers who they don't like. And, everybody would be winning the lottery and, all system breakdown, kind of like in that movie, Jim Carrey, where he's God for a couple days, But that's people who believe that there's one timeline. But what if there's infinite amount of timelines? So every time somebody goes back in the future, everybody goes back to their own past. So it really has no influence on the present you live in now, or even the present that somebody else is affecting in the past. And also, that being said, I don't think people, if we lived in a society that had time machines, I don't think we would be thinking like that anyways, because we would be advanced enough that we would just only think in the present, and to influence the future. The past already happened, don't worry about that. And there's probably been some other people we would probably figure out negative effects that other people who thought like that have done, and so like if everybody had a time machine, if I had a time machine, I would go back and observe. And I'm sure that's what people are doing all the time now. Every time somebody sees a spaceship or an orb that disappears, lots of orbs come together and then disappear, it's like, oh, I could have sworn I saw a light or something like that. That's probably somebody, coming back from the future or just observing you, or maybe it's yourself observing yourself. And they accidentally, weren't quite as invisible as they had hoped they would be. They had like a little glitch in their system or something. And accidents do happen. That's Roswell. That was humans from our future who got struck by a bolt of lightning and crashed their ship. Whoopsie doozles. But, in the end, I guess we all agreed that we wanted that to happen because it ended up giving us all of this new technology we have now. And helping us realize about aliens being here. So what would I do if I had a time machine? I'd fly back in time and I'd watch and film all of the interesting moments in time, like when the asteroid came down and destroyed Atlantis, when pyramids were being built, Jesus being crucified, Jesus giving his teachings, Julius Caesar being killed, all these different cool battles, Julius Caesar winning battles, Hannibal taking the elephants over the Alps, or the Pyrenees, lots of cool stuff like that, But, after a few, maybe years of doing that, I would eventually get bored, and I'd want to move on with my life, I mean, imagine 20 years ago, if somebody were to warp drive, just 20 years ago, into the world now, and they'd have a computer and see YouTube. Oh my God, you mean I can type anything and I can see it? Oh my God, oh! Lion fighting a tiger, oh my God, So it's like, you would be just mesmerized for freaking years. But you'd eventually go, okay, and get used to it, And everybody now, kids growing up now with YouTube, and even us who didn't grow up with the YouTube and the internet and everything, would just be like, we're just like normal. It's like, oh yeah, that's normal, having a computer with internet. You could do video talk probably on a computer these days. Oh, that's normal. So once we get time machines and we have aliens coming down here and little Yodas walking around, that'll be normal. Maybe not for the old people who have their brains fused into these, but those people will get cancer and die and everything. So just like kids nowadays, and so it's important, I think, to raise kids with an open mind, infinite possibilities. But, you know, I think it's possible to have time machines and really not have that make quite as much of an effect as a difference as you think it would, you know. It just makes you... The interesting thing, I think, that it would actually bring apart is you understand really what the meaning of life is. But that's a whole new video. But, like, what is the meaning of life? It's like, you know, it's sharing what you know. That's why I'm so motivated to upload videos on YouTube. Oh yeah, sharing what I know. Sharing what you know. Like the aliens, like Bashar, you know. These guys are in their spaceship. They can go anywhere in time they want, anywhere in the universe they want. They can do anything they want. And what do they choose to do? You know, they're like gods to us. They don't even have to eat. They absorb their energy straight from the sun or from the ether or whatever. And they live for like 350 years, and when they die, they can still communicate with the ones who are still alive and all this stuff. So, but what do they choose to do in their spare time? They choose to hang out with humans here. They like, even if it's only like a group, like I saw the Bashar video, he goes to somebody's house, and there's like 10 hippies there, and he talks to them. And that's what they see as a fun thing to do, because they're sharing and they're teaching, and that's what... So I think that's what we'll do when we all have time machines. We'll be like, you know, we'll act out all of our fantasies. We'll do skydiving with the wings. You know, we'll go scuba diving. We'll do these trips. We'll do all these cool sports. We'll go to parties. We'll share our stories and all this stuff. And then we'll be like, okay, well, what's the next best thing? Well, we want to learn. We want to grow. So what's the best way to learn and grow? Well, it's to go out and see all the different kind of crazy talented people that are out there and try to explain stuff to them and figure out what they're about. So that's what we'll do. We'll do the Bashar thing. We'll go and communicate to people in weird places like Earth, where people think that you only live once, and then when you die, there's nothing you ever more. Your body like turns into atoms, and your soul just evaporates into nothing. It's like you never existed. You know? Or the people who bow down to Jesus Christ as their personal God get to go to one place on top of a cloud called heaven for all of eternity, and all the other people who don't obey or whatever, or pledge their allegiance to Jesus the Lord, burn in hell for all of eternity in agony. And there's probably all sorts of other people, weird people, who believe all sorts of weird, crazy stuff. So you go over there and you just try to see what makes them tick and try to communicate with them. And via the way Bashar does it, via a human telephone. Or maybe you would even reincarnate as a human there for a lifetime, or part of a lifetime, as long as you can handle it. Or just observe them in a car, you know, but that's what it's about. That's what we would do, I think. So when we get time travel machines, we'll probably be flying all over the universe, all over time, and coming back, and then like we'd have like these symposiums, these big outdoor, you know, like in Athens, these big outdoor things where people would come and they'd give presentations of this crazy place that they saw. You wouldn't believe this planet I went to. Oh my God, look at what they do. Ah. So, you know, even if stuff is really like negative and evil, like feeding Christians to the lions in Roman times, you know, right now people are like, oh my God, what a horror. But if you realize that that kind of thing happens all over the universe, it's just part of growing up as a species, then it kind of becomes, I guess, entertainment, for lack of a better word. It's just, wow, interesting thing to do. Well, how, you know, and the best way to fix it and to put it into that kind of insanity as quickest as you can is just to explain yourself to them and travel around and learn what makes everything tick and whatever can happen. So I guess meaning of life, that would be another video.